Hi everyone, my name is Jenny and I'm back today to do another video. Today I'm going to be doing a slightly different video than I would usually do here on my channel, which is going to be a walkthrough of my 2021 bullet journal spreads as well as my January spreads. I wasn't originally planning on doing this video, but after finishing my spreads I was so impressed with how they turned out and so proud of them that I wanted to memorialize them forever on the internet. So I'm filming this video. Hopefully it'll go okay. I've never done the kind of filming setup that you're about to see, so hopefully it turned out okay. But I just wanted to kind of quickly walk through the spreads with y'all because I really like them and I hope you do as well. I will also point out that this is not just a reading journal, it's kind of also my everyday life journal, and I definitely want to make bullet journaling a priority in 2021. I was doing it quite a bit at the beginning of lockdown in March and April and May, and then I kind of fell off the bandwagon as 2020 progressed and I got more busy / had fewer things that I was trying to accomplish in each day because my work, while very time consuming, does not have a lot of responsibilities that require like writing down to-do lists. It's more kind of managing children and making sure that they don't hurt themselves. So I have not had as much to write down in my bullet journal. However, I want to make it part of a practice so that when I likely have a lot more free time in the summer and then also will be very busy with grad school in the fall, I want to have this practice already set up so that I can continue to use it and it can continue to benefit me. So without further ado, let's just get into the bullet journal spreads. Hello everyone and welcome to my 2021 bullet journal spreads. So the bullet journal is this brand. I'm not sure how to say the name of this brand, but I will have it linked in the description box below if you're interested in having one of these for yourself. Seems to be a pretty popular brand and I was able to get this one at Barnes & Noble. So, and it is a German brand as you can see. So then we go through the index pages, which I don't think I'm going to use, so I haven't started filling them out. But then we get to the first page where I wrote 2021 and then a quote from Jane Goodall. My focus of this year, I think, is going to be kind of intentional living and making choices that most align with my values. So I wanted to find a quote that kind of best reflects that. So I did find this Jane Goodall quote that says, "Each one of us matters, has a role to play, and makes a difference. Each one of us must take responsibility for our own lives and above all, show respect and love for living things around us, especially each other." So I thought that was really apt and wanted to include it in the beginning of this spread. Then we have a future log, which has all of these birthdays. These are all people that I know in my life that I wanted to remember their birthdays, and I've picked a color for each month that I'm planning on continuing throughout the months, as that'll be the kind of focus color of the month. Although in January I had to alter it slightly because this pen has already started to dry out. So then we continue on through the next 6 months of the second half of the year. I have a lot of birthdays to keep track of in November. And then we have a goals page. So this, as you can see, these are my pride and joy. I am not really artistically inclined in terms of drawing or painting. I am pretty good with the straight lines, so bullet journaling is fun for that. But I thought that this would be fun, kind of little doodles, and that's about as artistic as I get. But as you can see, I do have some goals kind of about intentional living and things that I want to try to kind of incorporate even more sustainability into my life than I already have. And then of course I've also written my reading goals, which I talked about in my January 2021 TBR. And then I also have a wish farm. So this is part of a financial strategy that I follow called You Need a Budget, or YNAB. And this is one of their ideas, is that for bigger purchases or things that happen only once a year but that cost a lot of money, such as Christmas or another big gift giving holiday, you should be saving for them in smaller chunks each month and having to make the big purchase all at once, because their big idea is that you should strive to have a debt-free life. And so by waiting until the very last moment to spend all of this money on this big purchase that you knew was coming up, you're actually kind of forcing yourself often into debt, even if it's credit card debt that you are then going to pay off by the end of the month. So they are a really awesome kind of budgeting strategy and have definitely helped me save a ton of money while living at home this year in my job. So would highly recommend checking them out. I'll also put them in the description box below. But these are just some of the things that I'm like planning on saving for this year. Some of this may change as 2021 progresses, in which case I think I'll make kind of an updated version of this. And then this is my pride and joy, which is going to be my 2021 yoga tracker. For those of you that are familiar, this is Benji, who is Adrian's dog. and he is definitely one of the stars of Yoga with Adriene. So I thought I would print him out, and throughout the year I'm going to color him in using different colors that signify different yogas that my sister and I will do. So we're super excited about this. We are going to be on day 287 tomorrow. Today when I'm filming this, it's New Year's Eve. So tomorrow will be day 287, and we will reach 500 by August of 2021. So that's exciting. Then we have a books read in 2021 spread. So this is going to be where I put all of the books that I finished throughout 2021 and potentially their star rating. I kind of finagled with that over some of my previous months in 2020, but we'll see kind of what format I decide to choose for this. But I do plan to read, or hope to read, 90 books in the year of 2021, so I'm hoping that 45 books will fit on each page. But if not, I won't worry about it too much. Then we have a recipe log of the recipes that I'd like to kind of keep track of. As I think I've mentioned previously on my channel, cooking is a really big aspect of my life and something that's really important to me. So I like to keep track of recipes that I've tried that I want to repeat in the future. So I've made this recipe log, and that'll continue on this page once I run out of room here, as well as on these 2 pages. And then I've also left a page at the beginning of the year for a gardening planning / plant planning section of my bullet journal, which I'm not sure when I will do this planning, but I did want it at the beginning of my journal. So I left this spread blank for whenever I feel I'm ready to do that. And then we move right into January. So I've made just a pretty simple January calendar. This helps me just kind of see when things are happening, etc. Pretty simple, don't need to go into a ton of depth about that. Then here's a habit tracker. This one I actually got from Archer and Olive on Pinterest, so I'll put a link to where I found this habit tracker down in the description box below. And then I also have specific goals for this month that I'd like to accomplish. So I have 3 of those. And then I have my TBR plans, which I talked about in my January 2021 TBR, which I'll put a link to in the cards above, as well as some video plans. And I did use a little book of the month sticker here. Then we have a reading tracker that I'm planning on using. So this, as you can see, all of the days of January are labeled here, and then these are numbered by 15. So we go all the way to 345, which I doubt I'll read 345 pages in a single day, but I did want some number that was high enough for a really high reading day. And this is mainly because I just want to kind of track how much I'm actually reading on a day-to-day basis, as I keep a kind of vague idea of that, but I'd love to know more specifically. So that's something I'm hoping to track in January and may continue to track throughout the rest of the year. Then we also have another books read bookshelf, just because I like the look of these bookshelves, and they're fun to do and pretty simple. So I'll be filling in the books throughout the month as I read them, and probably also keeping their star rating and any other kind of notes that I want to mention for all of these books. And then we get into my weekly spread. So I actually started with December 27th just because I was ready to move into this new journal, and December 27th was when I was kind of putting all of this together. So this is a pretty simple spread. I'm going to kind of play around with my weekly spreads and figure out what works best for me. But this seemed to be pretty good for a week that I don't have a lot going on, given that it's the week before 2021 begins, or the week that 2021 begins. So I just have some kind of notes of different things that I'd like to work on during this week. And I was crossing things off, but I actually have not done a lot of this stuff, so I need to do it in these next couple days. So then we have my last kind of weekly spread, which is a weekly meal plan. As I said, I really like to cook, and I'd like to kind of keep better track of the things that I'm cooking each week. So I've decided to sort of make a weekly meal plan. So I've put all the things that are in season here where I live at the top, so I can kind of remind myself, as one of my goals is kind of to eat more locally and seasonally, which is something I try to do anyway, but it is somewhat challenging, particularly in the winter months. So I've put all of them here just to kind of remind myself what is in season at this time. I also have an ideas for future weeks, which I've left blank for now because I don't have any ideas at this moment. But then I also have each day and kind of what we've planned to have, as well as the ingredients we'll need to get at the grocery store. So that worked pretty well for us this week. We'll probably continue using this until a better idea arises. And then I will have a kind of empty notes page for the week before starting into a new week, which I have not done the spreads of yet. So now kind of going through the whole thing is just a final flip through. that is everything. So if you are new to my channel, I don't make a ton of bullet journaling content, but I do make a lot of reading content, so I'd love to have you stick around and subscribe if that is something you're interested in. Additionally, if you bullet journal or are potentially thinking of bullet journaling in the near future, I'd love to kind of hear your thoughts about it or things that you're excited to incorporate in your bullet journal. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.